What is up, Sideways fam? Welcome back to the channel. As we can see, we got the NA Mk4 behind us from my buddy Fern, his right-hand drive Supra, as we can see behind me. Let me go ahead and jump right into it. This is going to be really, really cool. This is going to be the NAT build that we started doing on the Link ECU with the distributor, no modification, unbroken motor. We're going to go try to jam it at least 500 horsepower. So let's get right into it. If you haven't seen from the last video or even my video explaining about this setup, you're going to have to watch those. I will link them in the other video that we're doing. We've already gone ahead and tried to pull the car apart. As we can see, really cool kit, beautiful rims. It is a right-hand drive manual car. And we have a bunch of beautiful parts over here. We have the Link G4X ECU, our clutch kit we're gonna be installing. We have the Powerhouse Racing cast manifold we're gonna be running, which is right here. Precision turbo, precision wastegate. Lots of really, really cool things. But basically what's happening is this motor is a distributor stock motor. We already got it running on the Link ECU on our harness and on our base map. So this is going to be a super awesome DIY setup. If you've already watched the other videos, you should already know. I'm just kind of reiterating this, not trying to take up too much of your guys' time because I know it gets redundant watching the same stuff all the time. So what we're going to go ahead and do, I'm not going to bore you. We're going to rip this motherfucker out right now, get rid of all this bullshit that's all ugly, pull this bumper off because it's probably only hold on by zip ties, and get the hood off too because this is a very pretty TRD S2 fiberglass hood from Japan, which is super cool. The fitment's actually really good too. So let's go ahead and get it ripped off. We're gonna get it on a stand. We're gonna go ahead and get the turbo conversion stuff done, get our sensors in for all of our sensors we're gonna be doing down there, remove the evap, do the lines, yada, 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 yada. Let's go. Alrighty guys, we are completely disconnected. It did take a little bit longer than what we thought. Didn't get it out in an hour and a half, probably an extra hour on top of that, like two and a half, 2 hours-ish. But we're completely disconnected. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. And we're gonna get it on the stand over there. So let's do it. Right now, I got the trans obviously off, motors overstay out of the car. We're gonna check the release bearing. Input shaft feels good. So tranny overall was really, really, really clean. But the release bearing, if you spin it, so that was the noise we was hearing from his transmission. As far as clutch, I mean, it is all stock, so we don't really care. But as far as clutch goes, what's going on? That could have killed the finger, but he had a little bit of life left, but definitely OEM as shit. OEM flywheel. So let's go ahead and pull that off. We should be showing the parts or not? Yeah. And yeah, we're going to upgrade everything. All right, let's go. See what else? The fuel line, wiring harness. Motherfucker! Give me! Oh shit. Look at that. Give me! Fuck the hose clamps! Fuck am I stuck on? Oh, fucking knock something. You want to do that real quick?
Oh, after I get this.
There was the bolt. Did you see it come out?
Hmm?
The head's actually in really nice condition. Everything is pretty clean. This connector broke. That's fine. Alrighty, well, just like that, she is stripped down. Fern got some cool shots of me ripping everything apart and throwing everything everywhere, making a huge mess and being an angry ogre bear like I always am. So yeah, we're gonna clean the motor. We're gonna get all this clean in here. I'm gonna get everything sprayed down. We're gonna flip it over and I'm gonna start disassembling so he can clean the pan before he has to leave. And we're gonna get that thing on dollies and get it outside so it can get clean with some simple green and get all sprayed off and pretty. Because more than likely, he's gonna have to go before I'm done having the turbo kit and everything all assembled on the motor. So tomorrow we can get the motor back in the car. So let's go. Getting it clean. Getting her clean, like peaches and cream. I've got to admit, it is 1,000% nicer to have the homies be here to help clean everything on their car. I mean, the way I don't have to be in there doing it, getting all gross and disgusting, because I know that life too well. But this thing looks so pretty now. Not all gross. We're definitely going to paint her up and make her look pretty. Yeah, everything's just drying within the, you know, maybe 89 degree weather we got over here in beautiful California. Clear blue skies. Smelling degreaser, getting cancer days. Yep.
Good stuff?
Alrighty, well, we got the motor on a stand and taken apart halfway. Car is inside. Super freaking clean. Just looks so much better. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna finish pulling this apart so we can just inspect the bottom end. Just give me a few seconds to finish kind of slamming this thing out. Yeah. Your motor is super clean inside. Looks super healthy, which is obviously always a good thing.
We're gonna turn a healthy motor into an unhealthy one very fast.
I mean, I had a homie that had a motor like this too, man. It was about this clean. It was from Japan too. And like I said, he...
You think the oils they use is different?
I think they just change their oil
a lot
more than what we do. But My homie had a block like this. It was like, it was a right-hand drive, one from Japan that he had bought from one of our friends. And we actually ended up using that bottom end and making like almost 800 horsepower stock. But it was like so low mileage and taken care of, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't even a big deal. So you take care of them. Yeah, and like honestly, dude, they run forever. I've never really even gotten a bad non-VVTi. Ever.
Just the
VVTIs are trash. Yeah. Garbage as fuck. But see if I missed any fucking bolts. Sometimes there's the one. Yep, I got it.
Can we buy a pressure washer?
Yeah, I did. I'll hook it back up right now.
Yeah.
Just give me. Looks like we can kind of give it a quick spray, you know? Just wanted to show your bottom end real fast because it actually is in really good condition. So, super freaking clean inside. Like, absolutely no play in anything. Alrighty, so oil pan is done. I've already flipped the motor over. Everything is all nice and clean and completely resealed. We have an issue with the manifold. Obviously really cool. They do notch this to get the bolts in for the adapter. That's super awesome. It does clear the cover on the distributor, so that's super, super awesome. I love the Powerhouse Racing emblem they CNC in here. As we can see, we do have a problem. These studs do hit the manifold, so they did provide us with studs I found in the box. We're gonna go ahead and have to pull these out. I'm hoping I have the tool here to get these out, because if not, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. I may have to cut these and just put the nuts on them if I don't have the tool. But I am gonna get the wastegate on. I'm gonna get the turbo bolted on so we can see fitment and stuff like that of how this is all gonna go. I'm gonna mock up the intake manifold. So let's go. I got an hour and a half to get this done. This is pretty quick, fast work, so let's get it. So this side, we're okay. I'm not even close to being all the way down, as we can see, but if we look at over here on this side, there's not really any room to get the bolt on. So when you go to get it on, the corner of the bolt just hits the manifold. So we're gonna have to get one that doesn't have this outer washer on it, like a Honda bolt, to do it. So let me go ahead and keep fighting this stuff. I'm probably gonna have to get the grinder in here too and hack off the ends of these, because it's not gonna clear. I'm almost 100% sure when I go to torque it down, it's gonna end up touching the studs here. So anyways, let's just power through it. We keep going. Look at all these parts everywhere, dude. It's crazy. Anyways, here's this precision turbo we're gonna be putting on. Let's see where we're at right now. So I got the wastegate on. I do absolutely, as I've said before, totally hate the clamps for these. Only thing I do like is they're so heavy duty, you can kind of force it down and shove the corners of the clamp on and then just kind of use pliers and squeeze this to kind of seat the wastegate. Because this is just, precision's amazing, but I'm a very big turbo smart person. We're gonna have to reclock all this stuff and mess with it. And the bolts they give you are just too damn short. So anyways, I cut all the studs, made them all fit. We're good to go. PHR was nice enough to give us studs for the manifold. So all we gotta do is just put the gasket on. It's an open scroll, so we don't need to deal with any of that divided crap. Let me go ahead and clock the turbo. To clock the turbo, if you don't know about this, you're gonna have to loosen these bolts and these bolts in the front. Pretty much bolt the housing on here and then get everything kind of spun in place to get the lines for your drain, your feed, your everything else all hooked up. So I've never used this manifold before. Kind of interested to see how it's gonna line up and how it's gonna work, but let's go, let's check it out. All right, guys, so pretty much that's how it looks. You got some clearance. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's all on. Motor's kind of tilted at an angle right now. I'm gonna start working on the intake manifold. I've already gone ahead and stripped down the oil filter housing, put the barb in for the sandwich plate we're gonna be putting on. I need to make sure and remember to replace a connector on this because it was broken and his gauge isn't gonna work if we don't fix this. We're gonna have to pull the water neck off and go ahead and TIG weld this shut because we're not gonna be using that anymore, along with the heater lines we're gonna have to do as well. But we're moving. So I wanna go over this as well. We have our FMS 1000cc injectors. These are from our buddy Rocky. We use these every single time at pretty much every single one of our builds. They're going to be the ID style 1000s with our adapters that we have to Denso to be able to be plug and play for our 2JZ application. What I wanted to go over though as well is on these intake manifolds, guys, there's a lot of really, really cheap, even cheaper ones than the bullshit that you see all over the internet and everything too, and not the one here. This one right here does not run an OEM gasket. It runs Viton O-rings that pretty much are gonna be replaceable and that pretty much never go bad. So everything is Viton O-ring. It holds, I've done over 1100 horsepower with the same intake manifold, okay? So you don't need anything else, spend a little bit more money and buy the Deist motor one because they literally have like no issues whatsoever. We use these on all of our cars. But there is a cheaper model that's out there that's like $400 or $500. Do not buy that model, guys. If it has a gasket, it's going to fucking leak. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing on. Got a lot of stuff to bolt together, a lot of stuff to do, and the sunlight is going away. So let's go. Alrighty, guys. Well, as we can see, everything is put together. That's the fitment on the manifold. Got everything all nice and torqued down and pretty. Intake manifold is on with our FMS injectors. And I gotta go ahead and get all the fittings on the bottom side and everything all situated. If we're gonna be running a blow-off valve or any other stuff like that, I'm gonna have to change a few fittings. It's a new morning. Fern's gonna be here in a little bit to kind of help out, just kind of get the motor probably back in the car and a few small things, but I did find some stuff we're gonna be going ahead and putting into for the next video because I don't wanna make this thing too long. I think there's a lot of information we wanna go ahead and get online and have everybody be able to see. So I'm gonna probably go ahead and end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Got a lot of stuff coming your way, a lot of content about this NAT setup coming in, so bear with me. I'm gonna try my hardest to get everything up as quickly as I can while working and doing all the normal stuff I normally do. So until next time, guys, appreciate you guys so much. Peace.